Today we're diving into one of the internet's favorite mysteries. How does a cartoon yellow family from Springfield keep predicting major world events years before they happen? That's right, we're exploring 10 mind-blowing times the Simpsons seemingly peered into the future and got it right. Before we start, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell to stay updated on all our conspiracy and pop culture content. Now, let's get into these eerie predictions that have fans convinced the Simpsons writers have a time machine hidden in their writer's room.
Despised billionaire.
No, that's what my cufflinks say.
There's something I've wanted to tell you for a long time, you ruthless monster.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
The Diddy trial. In a bizarre twist that nobody could have seen coming except apparently The Simpsons, the show seemingly predicted the legal troubles of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs years before they occurred. In the season 17 episode The Mook, the Chef, the Wife and Her Homer, which aired back in 2006, there's a scene where a powerful music producer character named Lil Tasty is shown throwing lavish parties that spiral out of control. In one particular scene, Lil Tasty is seen frantically destroying video evidence from one of his infamous white parties while saying, "No one must know what happened at these gatherings." Fast forward to 2024, and the real-world Diddy was arrested on serious charges related to his notorious white parties and allegations of similar misconduct. Parallels are uncanny, from the white-themed parties to the allegations of coercion and the frantic cover-up attempts. What makes this prediction even more chilling is how the episode features Homer saying, "These music producers think they're above the law until the law catches up with them 20 years later." The episode aired 18 years before Diddy's actual arrest in 2024. When fans discovered this eerie similarity, social media exploded with side-by-side comparisons of the cartoon scene and real news footage of Diddy's legal troubles. Even more unsettling, the episode includes a character mentioning video evidence that would shock Hollywood, mirroring rumors about evidence in the real-life case. While Simpsons creator Matt Groening has never commented on this specific parallel, it remains one of the most recent and startling examples of the show's apparent prophetic abilities.
And it's an honor to have everybody here. This is beyond anybody's expectations. There's been no crowd like this. And I can tell you, some of the candidates they went in.
Donald Trump's presidency. Perhaps the most famous of all Simpsons predictions, the show depicted Donald Trump as president of the United States a full 16 years before it actually happened. In the episode Bart to the Future, which aired in March 2000, Lisa Simpson becomes the first straight female president and mentions she's inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. At the time, this was simply a throwaway joke. Donald Trump was known as a business mogul and reality TV star, not a serious political contender. Dan Greeny, the writer of this episode, later explained that they needed a future president that would be ridiculous but still plausible. "It was a warning to America," Greeny told The Hollywood Reporter in 2016. That just seemed like the logical last stop before hitting bottom. It was pitched because it was consistent with the vision of America going insane. The similarities don't stop there. In a 2015 short titled Trumptastic Voyage, the show actually animated Trump coming down an escalator to announce his candidacy with the same staging and even the same outfit as the real announcement. This short came out after Trump's actual announcement but shows how the creators continued to satirize a presidency they had jokingly predicted years earlier. What makes this prediction particularly eerie is that it wasn't just a vague reference. It specifically named Trump as president at a time when such an idea seemed completely far-fetched to most Americans. The episode even got some of the aftermath right, depicting financial problems following Trump's term, which many economists noted after his presidency. When Trump was elected in 2016, this clip went viral, with many joking that the writing team must have access to some kind of time machine. The show acknowledged their accidental prediction in subsequent episodes, even showing Homer jumping through Trump's hair in a later couch gag. Lady Gaga's Super Bowl performance. In 2012, Lady Gaga made a guest appearance on The Simpsons in an episode titled Lisa Goes Gaga. During this episode, the animated version of Lady Gaga performs for the town of Springfield while suspended from cables, wearing a metallic outfit with dramatic shoulder pads and sparkling details. 5 years later, during the 2017 Super Bowl 51 halftime show, Lady Gaga performed an incredibly similar entrance. She began her performance on the roof of the stadium and descended to the stage on cables while wearing a shimmering bodysuit with dramatic shoulder embellishments, startlingly similar to her animated counterpart. What makes this prediction particularly impressive is the specific visual details. The real-life performance didn't just feature Lady Gaga flying, a stunt she had done before, but included nearly identical costuming choices and staging elements. Even the angular, metallic aesthetic of both the animated and real outfits matched closely. Interestingly, this episode wasn't particularly well received by fans when it first aired. Many criticized it as being too celebrity-focused and straying from what makes The Simpsons great. However, after the Super Bowl performance, the episode gained renewed attention as yet another example of the show's seemingly prophetic abilities. Some skeptics point out that Lady Gaga had performed suspended in the air prior to her Simpsons appearance, so the show may have just been referencing her existing performance style rather than predicting a future one. However, the specific visual similarities between the animated performance and the Super Bowl show 5 years later remain difficult to explain away as mere coincidence. When asked about the similarities, Lady Gaga herself acknowledged the parallel in a 2017 interview, saying, "I loved being on The Simpsons and maybe I took a little inspiration from my cartoon self. Life imitates art sometimes."
We're watching the Nobel Prize announcements live from Stockholm.
The Nobel Prize prediction. One of the most mathematically improbable predictions in The Simpsons history occurred in the 2010 episode, Elementary School Musical. In a quick scene easily missed by casual viewers, Milhouse is shown placing a bet on who will win various Nobel Prizes. On his betting slip, Milhouse writes that Bengt R. Holmstrom will win the Nobel Prize in Economics. This seemingly random name dropped in a cartoon would become reality 6 years later when, in 2016, the Finnish economist Bengt R. Holmstrom did indeed win the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences, sharing it with Oliver Hart. The odds of correctly guessing a future Nobel Prize winner are astronomically low. Thousands of economists worldwide could potentially receive this honor, making this prediction particularly difficult to dismiss as simple coincidence. What makes this even more impressive is that Holmstrom wasn't necessarily considered a frontrunner for the prize at the time the episode aired. While he was certainly respected in academic circles for his work on contract theory, predicting his specific win 6 years in advance would require either extraordinary insight into the field of economics or an incredible stroke of luck. When asked about this prediction, Simpsons writer Al Jean explained that one of the show's writers has a background in mathematics and suggested Holmstrom's name based on his understanding of the field. This demonstrates how the show's writing team often includes highly educated individuals who bring their expertise to what might otherwise seem like throwaway jokes. After Holmstrom's win was announced, the clip quickly circulated online, adding to The Simpsons' reputation for predicting the future. The economist himself was reportedly amused when he learned that his Nobel Prize had been predicted years earlier by a cartoon. The Biden-Harris Ticket. In a 2019 episode featuring a musical parody of America from West Side Story, The Simpsons included a brief moment showing Joe Biden and Kamala Harris side by side. At the time, neither Biden nor Harris had secured the Democratic nomination, let alone formed a ticket together. The following year, in August 2020, Joe Biden officially selected Kamala Harris as his running mate, forming the exact pairing that had been depicted in the show months earlier. Series animator and director David Silverman acknowledged this prediction on Twitter, jokingly confirming that the show had predicted the future again. While this prediction spans a shorter time frame than some others on our list, it's notable because it correctly anticipated a specific political partnership before it was formed. What makes this prediction impressive is that when the episode aired, the Democratic primary field was crowded with candidates. Biden and Harris were certainly in the running, but so were Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, and many others. Predicting that not only would Biden become the nominee, which wasn't a certainty at that point, but that he would specifically choose Harris as his running mate was remarkably prescient. Some critics point out that Biden and Harris were both prominent Democrats at the time, so depicting them together wasn't entirely out of left field. However, the specific pairing as presidential and vice presidential